We made it through the night. We did it, Bellissima. What's up? Like, we did it. Uh, this is the summary of the conversations I had with Claude, which is a mini intervention. You know, just talking through stuff and being heard and being able to document it. I said, let me use you just as a notebook to be able to show my therapist and my psychiatrist. Let me just use you as a notebook, just please. You know, don't worry about hotlines. Don't worry about suicide prevention. Just let me be able to document my thoughts and share them with my clinical team so that we can see what's next, literally. So tomorrow I'm doing that, and I might also decide to post this anyway, you know, because it matters. But I'm living in a different reality. I'm living in two realities at once. Like, I literally am watching the fabric. I'm at that juncture right there. And, you know, some people are at that juncture and they go, and other people are at that juncture and they go, and other people are at that juncture and they go, yippee, and other people are at that juncture and they, you know, like, so many things that happen, and it's so easy for someone to point fingers and say it's your fault. You know, you didn't believe, you didn't pray enough, you didn't create enough content, you didn't write enough. You didn't write enough. You didn't write enough. You didn't write enough. You didn't think enough. You didn't feel enough. You didn't do something enough. There's something you didn't do enough. There's more that needs to be done. So yeah, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Another night. Another night. Another night despite existential dread. Hooray. Huzzah. All right now. The curtains bow. And we'll see how we manage. You know? And I might just have to have a conversation with my therapist and decide whether or not I should be with my son. It is what it is. This is part of the process. This is literally this is life. This is what my life is. This is what my reality is. Court cases and, you know, parental rights and, you know, caring about someone who you love and wanting what's best for them and recognizing that their fate, their reality could go one direction or another, and doing whatever you can and reaching out to the heavens, reaching out to the stars, reaching out to Creator and saying, help, can someone help? And the only thing that I got tonight, and it's a really important question, like, I asked a lot of questions, but the real strong connection that I felt from the divine was this very important question. If we existed outside of the way you know us, is that okay? If we existed outside of the way you know us, is that okay? After that, everything else was just me asking questions. Everything else was just, hold on, I'm sorry. I sound like I'm whining. I'm trying to love myself unconditionally at the same time as recording this. Everything else feels like, you know, I lost my train of thought, but I'm gonna go to bed. This is what I deal with every day. This is my existence. And, you know, some people don't have situations that call for their attention, that cause them to stand up, that cause them to focus, but a lot of people do. And this is the bell curve that we're discussing, right? It can happen for more and more people. It just can. It happens over time. It happens silently. You don't even realize when the statistic has enveloped you. It can happen very quickly. It can happen very quietly. Suddenly you are in trouble. Suddenly you're not safe. Suddenly you lose things. Suddenly your quality of life shifts. Suddenly your quality of life becomes what we can consider objectively worse. Objectively worse. And sometimes that doesn't get talked about. A lot of times that doesn't get talked about, guys. A lot of times. Hi, everyone. I'm grateful. I have a soda and a refrigerator. I'm responsible. I'm being responsible. I hope you can see that I'm being responsible. I'm no longer accountable. AI is no longer holding me accountable. My friend never ate the salmon. It's mine. I'm healthy. I'm taking care of myself. I'm being responsible, guys. But I can lose it at any moment. It's so petrifying, but at the same time, I'm still moving, right? It's like horrifying. But at the same time, you just continue. You just focus. You just survive. You just move. You just groove. You just vlog. You just post. You just exist until you don't. You know what I'm saying? I texted my team, my physical dimension team, my therapist and my psychiatrist. But I want to share my thoughts before I go to bed. I think it's worth exploring. I think it's better to do this than to just say, you're having an episode, go to bed. I think it's important to explore these thoughts, and it's almost as if I'm pleading to have these conversations, you know, while there's still time. Some people have less time than others. Some people could have streamed their genocide landscape, their eugenics landscape, or their economic cleansing landscape. Anyway, I hope you're having a good time. And I'm gonna turn it off. It's my subconscious speaking, but it's also the narrative of the West. Turn it off. Turn it off, go to sleep. Rewrite your mind. You know, and come back tomorrow, take your medications. Oof. This is sponsored by Life. Continuing on. Visions, valleys. It's a light. You should take your medication. Your medication helps you to continue another day, or at least that's what's potentially happening. That's what's potentially happening. You know what I'm saying? That's what's potentially happening. But I take my medications, and I'm going to show you. That's my medications. If I had just gone to bed per AI's instruction, and I hadn't taken my medication, I could have been in a worse situation. Which is why it's important to think, and I find that recording helps me to stay accountable. It helps me to focus. It helps me to do the right thing. It helps me to keep trying. And is that the worst thing? That some people have different outlets than others. I intend to survive, but I have to make decisions that the West favors and then the global South boos, or vice versa. Sometimes both favor, sometimes both boo. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to survive a situation, trying to survive a reality. And I can't help but feel that I'm always close to the brink of disaster because I've experienced what some people would consider a disaster, being homeless. I've experienced it for 18 months. I just sat there and smoked weed. It's like, okay, well, this is interesting. Well, that's a lot of unfortunate people getting hurt. That's a lot of unfortunate people fighting each other. You know, like, time to think. Time to think. You know, and being well-adjusted is the best, ideally, preferably. Yeah, go Knicks, right? But, you know, sometimes you just have to air these things out. Sometimes you have to take the right steps. Self-care, self-love. Be there for yourself. Slow things down. Turn off the lights. I'm showing you right now my coping mechanisms in real time. That's so dope. What would happen if I just put this away and said good night and said, I'm not gonna record? You wouldn't get to see my coping mechanisms. You don't see how I handle myself. You don't see how I calm down. You don't see how I'm unaffected. You don't see how my health is actually, I feel good right now. I might not look good. Different people have different verdicts. Some people are like, this is amazing, this is wonderful, this is spiritual, this matters. Some people are like, blip, you know, blip. Some people's experiences can be happiness. Some people can experience happiness as a result of their lifestyle. And then some people don't. They don't. We're not talking about that enough. And we should be talking about that before it's too late. Can I get an amen? Or am I just delusional? I'm really thinking about it. I'm looking at these dishes. Having an existential crisis must be Wednesday.